Hi, I'm Morgan, and today I'm going to show you how I style my hair in a top knot. And this is a style that tends to be a little bit more temperamental, at least on my hair. It doesn't always turn out like the most consistent. And one of the most, this is a hairstyle that does not work for me on if my hair is wet. This is one that I have to do when my hair is dry, which is also why I don't like to do it as much. I prefer braided styles and stuff where they actually kind of work if they're dry. And what I do first of all is brush / detangle it, and then just move my head forwards, and then just gather it, just gather everything forwards. And okay, find a hair tie. That particular look did not turn out the greatest the first time. Let's see. I can get it to look a little bit nicer now. And then of course it gets quite tangly, messy. This is one that I don't like. I don't really like top of the hairstyles like this because it's very difficult to get all of the hair to go against gravity and stuff, and this goes against the natural texture that I have. And wow, this does not look great so far. Okay, let's figure out how to direct this. I think I'm just gonna go for a third attempt. This is where I say this is a hairstyle that I don't typically do very often because it is so difficult to make it actually look decent on me, because it's basically fighting against gravity to get everything to the top part. Yeah, this looks terrible. Hairstyle fails. Hairstyle fails. And this is again what I don't typically do. Style. This particular one does not work well. Or at least I find that it doesn't work very well on me a lot of the time. Okay. It's just, you know what, I'm going to do the cheat way of this, the easy way, which is pull, let's pull this part, the front part or the top part up first, then direct this to be how I want this to be. So, okay, this part here doesn't go as much, and then let's put a hair tie here. Then after that, we'll just brush everything else upwards and catch it onto this part here. Okay, now we got the bulk of the hair all up here, and then it's basically okay, let's adjust this to look like how, wow, this looks not so great. Okay, then flip it up like this, and then twist it. Oh my gosh, this looks terrible. Yeah. And then just arrange it into whatever way that you like. Okay, basically just twist it into a bun. And for like this, if I want it to be a bit more loose like this is the way to do that. And just pin around how I like just for a little bit of security, but also it doesn't, I feel like this type of style doesn't need as many pins as normally hair does because it's working with gravity instead of against gravity. And then trying to take these shorter sections here and then like trying to get these to stay there, which requires more pinsies. And I over directed that. On this just a little bit more. And then I tend to always have like these loose, with this particular style, I tend to have like a few loose bits that always will hang down the back, and I find that even if I try and pin those up, those don't tend to stay. So, like usually, like this type, I typically will just like leave it, like leave it down because it isn't typically worth it to pin it up around here because it like tends to end about here and it falls down. So I just will leave the hanging, like these bits that hang, like I just leave those. And this is a style, okay, and this one has the stuff sticking out again, which is, okay, I think I should do that. And then we'll redo this. So yeah, this is a style that I feel, again, where I say this is a very temperamental style that doesn't always turn out the best on me. I'm telling the truth about that. Like, I typically don't do this type of style unless, like, the time that I typically will do, like, the on top of the head type of style like this is if I'm trying to, like, if I'm trying to give the impression of something from, like, the Edwardian era, like, somewhere between, like, the 1890s and, like, the 1910s, like, if I'm looking for, like, I guess kind of like a low-key, like, farmer, like, vibe from that era, like, because this is not as poofy as it, if I were, like, actually, like, trying to represent that era, I would want a bunch of poofy poof. And so I would probably do, like, this and floof it up. Like, it's not for, like, this is a style that I would do if I'm not trying to be, like, fashionable from that time period, but I'm trying to, like, look like, okay, I'm trying, like, someone who's just doing this in their own home vibe, like, I guess, like, the vibe I would go for with something like this would be a, like, probably, like, a farmer from that time period, or someone who wants to, like, look fashionable, but also, like, not go the full way with it, because if I remember right, a lot of times to get, like, that really nice, poof at the front, like, you, like, sometimes people would use, like, hair pieces, and because I have, like, the, because I have, like, a shorter section here now, I can't do as much, like, building up in the front and getting it to stay actually upright as I would when I had, like all one length hair. So yeah, this is how I do, like, a top knot for if I'm trying to do, like a low-key, like, Edwardian, like, working class person impression. And, like, I would say, though, when, like, I saw, like, a video one time, I'm wondering if it's by glamourdaze. But there's someone on YouTube where they had a like a remastered version of a video of like I think it was like factory workers or some women like clocking in on a job from this era, and they all had their hair like super fancy, so like it wasn't like they went like above and beyond to look fashionable and stuff. So it's like I feel like this like low-key like half done style wouldn't have been worn by like very often by like fashionable young women. It was like, so it's like I'm not sure if this is like the most authentic style. It's more like I want to give the impression of the era, like if I'm doing like a costume, etc. So yeah, this is how I do a top knot. And again, once again, it doesn't always turn out very well, and like it really needs more poofy poof to give a better impression from this era. And I'm gonna show you the back. It probably looks absolutely ridiculous on me. Yeah, this is why I tend to gravitate towards styles that are like braided, because those tend to come out like more uniformly or things that like when I'm working against gravity, like going upwards, like I can end up with extremely unpredictable results. Like sometimes it'll look nice and other times it'll be a complete and utter disaster. So yes, hopefully this shows like that sometimes hairstyles don't always turn out looking perfect, but that's okay. You do you. What you do with how you style your hair, that's up to you. And sometimes things turn out great and sometimes they don't. So thank you for watching my attempt at doing a top knot, and I hope you have a great day.